I'll quote the late, great Nelson Mandela in saying, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we lived. It's what difference we've made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead." Hi, my name is Glenn, and I hope that you all are having an exceptional day. I'm here briefly to delve into the art of building bridges and nurturing understanding through the transformative power of listening. While this topic could fill volumes in a library's nonfiction section, I'll focus on what truly matters for our time together here. Each of us have our unique baggage, including a collection of joys, success, scars, and regrets. Without a doubt, baggage has left unforgettable marks in our lives and soul that we must continually navigate to present our best selves to the world. In cases where these experiences have been positive, we cherish the opportunity to revisit these memories in our mind to draw joy and inspiration when we need a lift. However, there are instances where certain memories give us pause and almost demands us to reflect and look for resolution to the lingering, unresolved conflicts that remain unsettled in our hearts. Our life experiences differ in one way or another, and while our battles look different, the battle is still a battle nonetheless. As a result, some of us need a little more growth in certain areas of our life, while others must confront different challenges. While our life experiences vary, the universal truth is that we all face battles of our own. Some of us may require more personal growth in specific areas of our lives, while others must grapple with their unique set of obstacles and lessons. As we navigate through life, we are bound to encounter people with personalities, qualities, and dispositions that challenge our understanding, challenges our empathy and our patience. But here's the twist. Sometimes we need to evaluate whether trying to change others is the right course of action, or just maybe the person who must make some changes is us. Let us dig a little deeper. Picture this scenario. You're dealing with someone who seems naturally difficult, problematic even, challenging. You find that they're constantly testing your patience and pushing your buttons, leaving you scratching your head in confusion. I'm sure you've all had the occasion where you were confronted with someone that caused you to have to say to yourself, is it them or is it me? For some of us, we waste time and energy engaging in battles with individuals, often with no benefit to ourselves. We argue, and nothing of any significance changes in the process. Others of us just create as much distance as possible between you and this person. But what if you can't? What if this person is someone you have to interact with daily? A coworker, your boss, family member, a neighbor, etc. It certainly makes managing this situation a little more complex. The usual approach may be to try to talk it out in an attempt to change this person with the hopes that they'll realize how their behavior is affecting you and those around you. However, it's not always as straightforward. Some people are fully committed to being set in their ways, and change doesn't come easy to them at all. The mindset at play here is, I am who I am, and people should just accept me as I am. The belief is that there's something wrong with everyone else and not themselves. In other instances, some people could benefit greatly from making change, but are obviously they're oblivious to how what they're doing is affecting others. Really, it's just not on their radar at all. In these situations, we must take somewhat of a different approach. We've come to the determination that we must find a way to manage the situation and make peace with the fact that this person's attitude may not or will not change. While being committed to nudging some individuals towards positive change is always a noble cause, of course, but there are situations where this effort can feel like a losing battle. It's important to ask yourself, at this point, does our pursuit of change come at too high a cost? Although circumstances may seem difficult, it's important to remember that there's still a chance for a positive outcome. It's beneficial to recognize that we have the power to choose how we respond in situations like this. Remember the saying, silence is golden. Now, in saying this, I do acknowledge that this is not always an approach that can be taken in every case. However, sometimes silence is better the course of action to take because it can be more valuable and effective than saying something. Remember, speaking impulsively or without careful thought can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and unintended consequences. By choosing silence, you can avoid unnecessary trouble and you can maintain a sense of calm and composure. It encourages the practice of thoughtful restraint in communications while emphasizing that wisdom of not always needing to express your thoughts or opinions, especially when doing so may not contribute positively to the situation. In our grand quest for understanding and navigating the complex web of human relationships, we often forget that the only person we have direct control over is ourselves. Instead of trying to forcefully mold someone into our vision of what they should be, perhaps it's time to turn the mirror inward and examine our responses, our reactions, our attitudes. It's a mindset shift that can revolutionize the way we engage with others and the world around us. Okay, you might be wondering, what does this all have to do with the art of listening? Well, good people, it's intricately tied to this vital skill. You see, in an age when everyone seems to have something to say, when voices clamor for attention, and when the noise of opinions drown out thoughtful discourse, listening, you see, has become something that's rare and is valued. Listening is a skill that is desperately needed, not just in our personal relationships, but in our broader interaction with the world. So, what can we learn? What can we learn about each other when we listen to what's being said? Well, let me shed some light on this fascinating topic. When you truly listen to someone, not just hearing the words, but understanding their context, their emotions, and their underlying motivations, there's a treasure trove of information that begins to reveal itself right before you. So let's talk about this. First, you'll sense a person's values. You see, when people speak, often they reveal what they hold inside of them, whether it's family, career, and ideas about justice or what they do for enjoyment. Their words unintentionally disclose what matters most to them, especially when there's a difference between the image they portray and their true selves. Second, you'll gauge their fears and insecurities. As we listen closely, we start noticing a hint of vulnerability that exists internally, the worries that keep someone awake at night, and the mask that they put on to shield themselves from what's sometimes a judgmental world. Third, you'll uncover a person's dreams and aspirations. As you take notice of the tone of their voice and the sparkle in their eyes, especially when they talk about their passion, you'll find a glimpse of the future they envision for themselves. Fourth, you can observe their thought patterns to see if they are analytical, they're creative, or if they're sensible in their approach to life challenges. The words that a person chooses and the stories that they tell often gives us some clues about their internal thought process. But here's where the real wonder lies. After you've truly listened and soaked in all of these subtleties, or the small and not immediately obvious details, it equips you with the extraordinary power of responding with wisdom. It's like having a finely tuned instrument that's ready to play the right notes at the right time. This ability to know what to say, when to say it, and to whom you should say it can transform ordinary conversations into meaningful exchanges that bridges the gaps, heals wounds, and nurture understanding. Yeah. To illustrate this point, let's turn to the ultimate source of wisdom, the Bible. Throughout its pages, we found profound examples of listening, understanding, and responding with wisdom. Let's take, for instance, the story of Solomon, the wise king. In the famous judgment of two women claiming to be the mother of a baby, you see, Solomon didn't just rush to a hasty decision. He listened attentively to both women's pleas, weighing their words and their emotions. He responded by suggesting that the baby be divided into two. That response revealed not just his wisdom, but his deep understanding of the human heart. Solomon was keen at listening and discernment, understanding that the genuine mother would choose to relinquish her child rather than to see her child harmed. At that very moment, he revealed who the real mother was. Another powerful biblical example is the story of Jesus and the woman caught in adultery. When confronted with the alleged sin that were being charged against this woman, Jesus didn't jump to judgment. Instead, he stooped down. He wrote in the sand and listened to the accusations. Then, with wisdom and compassion, he uttered those timeless words. Let him who's without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her. In this simple yet profound response, Jesus not only challenged the accusers to introspect, but also offered the woman a chance for redemption. These stories serve as reminders that listening is not just about hearing words, it's about understanding. It's about empathy and a willingness to delve into the complexities of the human heart. Here's the core of it all. We must learn to see each other through the eyes of love. In a world that's often divided and quick to judge, this concept carries profound weight. It beckons us to embrace empathy, understanding, and grace in our interactions. Let's be clear. Seeing through the eyes of love, it doesn't mean accepting full or harmful behavior that goes against our values or the greater good. It means recognizing that each of us carries our own share of flaws, misjudgments, and imperfections. It means extending a hand of compassion to those who grapple with intentional misdeeds and allows the transformative power of love and faith to work within them. Consider the parable of the prodigal son, a timeless story of love and redemption. When the wayward son returns home after squandering his inheritance, his father doesn't greet him with anger or judgment. He instead runs to embrace his son, and he forgives him and celebrates his return. This parable encapsulates the profound power of love to heal, restore, and transform. But let's acknowledge that seeing each other through the eyes of love is not a simple task at all. It requires us to look beyond the surface, to peel away the layers of bias and preconceived notions, and to see the inherent worth and potential for good in every person. It demands that we make room for understanding, for listening, and for growth, not just in others, but within ourselves too. As we navigate the intricate web of human relationships, remember that you are an active participant in the grand mosaic of humanity. Your words, your actions, your capacity to listen holds immense power. It had the potential to bridge divides, mend relationships, and uplift souls, regardless of the things that often set us apart one from another. So let's do this. Let's undertake this great journey of understanding and love together. Let's open our ears, our hearts, and our minds to the power of listening. Let's seek to comprehend the intricate maze of human psychology, and in doing so, we'll uncover the profound impacts on our everyday lives. As we move forward, let's always keep in mind the timeless teaching of Jesus, where he stressed the importance of love and compassion. He gave his followers a simple yet powerful commandment: love one another as I love you. In these words, we discover the key to fostering a world filled with compassion, transformation, and profound understanding. Bringing everything I've said to a conclusion, let's remember that every compassionate and attentive moment, every act of love, every good deed ripples out into the world, forming a rich fabric of empathy and comprehension. Let's intricately piece together the mosaic of connections, one heartfelt bond at a time, as we truly help to make this world a better place. Thank you for sticking around with me to hear my few words, and together we can make a world of difference, one compassionate, attentive, and loving interaction at a time. So I tell you to take care of yourself and be mindful of how the things you do can affect others. Listen, I hope you are choosing to have a positive impact on those around you. Until next time, peace.